One starry night, Dora and Boots looked at the sky with a telescope. Boots would like to meet the 5 space creatures that live in space. Suddenly, a purple flying saucer streaks through the night sky. A beam of light shines, and the flying saucer comes down to solid ground. Boots climbs onto Dora's back and looks over her head to find the 5 space creatures that came out of the flying saucer. The colors of the space creatures are green, red, yellow, orange, and blue. Flinky is the green one. Inky is the red one. Plinky is the yellow one. Dinky is the orange one, and Al is the blue one. After the space creatures introduce themselves, they all sit down and point to the purple planet. Dora and Boots look at the purple planet and ask if the 5 space creatures live there. They do so live on the purple planet, and they want to go home. Suddenly, the flying saucer breaks apart. The 5 space creatures stranded and sad. The blue one, Al, started to cry. The poor aliens have to get home to Purple Planet. Dora and Boots have to figure out how to get to Purple Planet. They ask Map, who's dressed like a rocket, and he says that Dora and Boots have to travel into outer space to bring Flinky, Inky, Plinky, Dinky, and Al back home to the Purple Planet. Before they can get there, they have to go through the Milky Way and pass the space rocks to get to the Purple Planet. Dora and Boots had to look through the telescope for the Milky Way. They find it, but they had to figure out how to get there. What they need is a rocket ship. Dora would see a rocket ship by the tall trees. Then they realize that Issa just got a new rocket ship. Boots asks Issa if they can borrow the rocket ship because it is important. Issa replies and reminds Dora and Boots that they need to wear spacesuits so they can be safe in outer space. Dora checks her backpack for a spacesuit for herself and a spacesuit for Boots. And Dora and Boots put on their spacesuits and helmets. Blinky, Inky, Plinky, Dinky, and Al scurried into the rocket ship. Dora and Boots followed, and Issa wished them good luck. Dora, Boots, and the 5 space creatures took their seats and buckled their seatbelts to stay safe. To blast off, they all counted backwards from 10 to 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! The rocket ship came to life and shouted, Arriba! As his face appeared on the monitor. The others repeated his words. Once the rocket ship reached outer space, Dora and Boots took off their space helmets and stood them aside. They saw constellations, groups of stars that formed pictures. After finding the constellations, they encountered a white fog that looked like milk. It was the Milky Way. Because the fog was so thick, they couldn't see where they were going. Suddenly, a female voice told the space explorers how to navigate the fog. All they had to do was connect the dots. They started with 1 and counted up to 6. When they finished connecting the dots, it formed a constellation of a teddy bear. To get through the Milky Way, go this way, she said, as the teddy bear constellation pointed to the right. Dora and Boots piloted the rocket ship in that direction, thanking the teddy bear as they traveled through the stars. After passing through the Milky Way, Dora and Boots piloted the rocket ship past several colorful planets. Soon, a symbol appeared telling the explorers it was safe to take off their seatbelts. As soon as they unbuckled, they began to float because there is no gravity in outer space. Suddenly, Al's stomach growled. Boots realized Al must be hungry, so they searched for the door containing the food. Boots found a picture of an apple on one of the 6 doors, signaling it was the pantry. However, when Boots opened the door, space food flew out and scattered everywhere. I find an orange for Dinky. She peels the orange and eats the whole thing. Now I find the floating hot dogs for the 5 space creatures. And now that I have to find the space cookies. The space cookies were out of the space explorers' reach and started to float away from them. Dora, Boots, and the 5 space creatures have to space swim the cookies. They do so, and he took a bite out of them. After their space snack, the comet streaks past. Boots wants to catch a ride on the comet. Comets go very fast. Dora activates the comet catcher. Everybody on the rocket ship have to buckle back up to catch a ride on the comet. The comet catcher grabs the comet, and they all get a very fast ride. After that, Boots realizes that the comet has taken them to space rocks. The rocket ship needed to avoid colliding with these rocks. I instructed the rocket ship to go arriba, meaning up. The rocket ship skillfully dodged 3 space rocks of different sizes. Dora fastened her seatbelt as they ascended and thanked me for helping the rocket ship navigate past the obstacles by saying arriba. Boots then brought Dora back down to her seat, where she secured her seatbelt once more. Dora and Boots were so close to taking Flinky, Inky, Plinky, Dinky, and Al back home to the Purple Planet. Just as Dora flipped the lever, the rocket ship suddenly broke down. Boots wondered what happened. A buzzing sound indicated that the battery symbol on the rocket ship's dashboard was lit up. They soon realized the battery was out of power and needed to be replaced. A new battery emerged from the battery compartment. The 5 space creatures exited the rocket ship to install the new battery, making sure to hold onto the rope to avoid flying away. Suddenly, they heard Swiper the fox. Boots thought it was impossible. There's no way Swiper could be in outer space. Just then they spotted Swiper wearing a spacesuit and helmet, riding a mini rocket ship and attempting to swipe the battery. Dora, Boots, and the 5 space creatures had to stop him. Together they shouted, Swiper, no swiping! 3 times. Afterward, Swiper flew his mini rocket ship back to Earth. Soon after, the five space creatures replaced the worn-out battery with a fresh one from the battery compartment. In no time, the rocket ship rebooted. Dora flipped the switch again, and she and Boots were able to take Slinky, Inky, Blinky, Dinky, and Owl back home to the purple planet. The rocket ship landed on the purple planet, and everyone got out of their seats. Dora and Boots put on their space helmets back on, and together they exited the rocket ship. As they followed the path, they started to float a little while trying to walk. Dora and Boots needed to find the five space creatures' home, which was far away. The group hopped up onto a moving sidewalk and enjoyed a ride to the five space creatures' home. Finally, the five space creatures are back safe and sound on the purple planet. Dora and Boots returned to Earth to bring Issa her rocket ship. They are excited about the possibility of seeing their alien friends on another outer space adventure, along with a new friend in the future.